Sophie, young milliner girl. On her way to meet her sister Letty, two royal guards stop her. They harass her, but a young man named Howl comes and removes her away from the situation. I am with her, why don't you two take a little walk? Tao He are harmless, where to I will be your escort. No really, I am only going to Cesari's Alpha Court. Normal, I am being followed, just walk. Sorry, I got you in new ol new ed. I'll draw them off, wait here until the coast is clear. Yes, that's my girl. Sister, how did you land on the new veranda? After visiting Letty, Sophie heads home. At the hat shop, a woman known as the Witch of Waste walks in. The woman casts a spell on Sophie and turns her into a very old woman. Afraid of her family's reaction, Sophie leaves the house with some food and heads to the countryside. During her journey, she meets a scarecrow with a turnip head. She befriends the scarecrow and he leads her to Howl's castle. Sophie enters and meets a fire demon named Calcifer. He proposes to help Sophie break her curse, only if she agrees to help him with his. And you are who? I'm Grandma Sophie, you see. I'm your new cleaning lady Alpha ND who hired you to clean. Why I hired myself, I knew seen such a filthy house. During her cleaning sessions, Sophie switches a couple of Howl's bottles, hair dyeing products. The switch led Howl's hair to change color, which made him very upset. He then tells Sophie to go the palace as his mother to convince Madame Suliman that he's too cowardly to show his face. Sophie goes to Kingsbury, along with a ring that Howl gives her, and on her way. The castle, she meets up with the Witch of the Waste. While they are climbing the steps to the palace, the witch visibly grows older. Madame Suliman is. She tells Sophie that Howl has been taken over by a demon, and soon it will completely consume him. The Witch of the Waste loses her powers, and Howl arrives disguised as the king to save Sophie. Before they can get away, Madame Suliman shows Sophie what Howl really is. He transforms into a fierce bird, but before he loses himself, Sophie yells that it's a trap, and he flies Sophie out of the palace, along with the Witch of the Waste, and Suliman's dog, Heen. Sophie flees the royal city on a plane that Howl stole. Howl stays behind as a decoy so Sophie can safely get away. Sophie crashes into the castle, and Howl arrives the next morning, and moves the castle again. The castle transforms into Sophie's hat shop, along with a new portal that leads to a beautiful field of flowers. Sophie becomes young again, and she asks Howl if he's leaving her. He doesn't answer, to which she responds, "Please, Howl, I know can be of help to you. Even though I'm not pretty, and all I'm good at is cleaning." Howl responds, Sophie, you're beautiful." At that moment, Sophie grows old again and saves Sophie. Sophie turns the hat shop into a flower shop, and her mother visits her. Her mother secretly leaves a little spy blob behind, and the witch throws it in Calcifer's mouth. He weakens, and is unable to defend the castle when the country is thrust into war. Sophie runs outside, fully young as she has unknowingly broke her own curse, and watches as Howl saves the shop from a falling bomb. He emerges from the wreckage unscathed, and the two embrace. Howl heals Calcifer, and Sophie begs him not to go out into the war again. He responds, "Sorry, I've had enough of running away. Sophie, now I've got something to protect. It's you." He leaves and Sophie moves Calcifer from his hearth, breaking the connection the castle had to Market Chipping. The castle crumbles, and Sophie places him back in the ruined grate. Despite Sophie's curse being lifted, her hair remains silver, much unlike the book, where Sophie's hair turns red. She gives Calcifer her hair, and he grows strong enough to move the castle to find Howl and tell him that they are safe. Meanwhile, the Witch of the Waste realizes that Calcifer holds Howl's heart, and she plucks him from the hearth. She begins to burn, and Sophie throws a bucket of water on her. Calcifer goes out, causing the castle to fall apart. Sophie falls over a cliff, along with Heen. The ring that Howl gave her glows blue, and leads to the portal from the castle. She opens it up, and enters the black void that only Howl has been in. She ends up in the past, and witnesses Howl as a child. Stars are falling from the sky, and she runs out to stop him from making a pact with Calcifer. However, Howl swallows the star before Sophie can reach him. And Calcifer is born, with Howl's small heart beating within. Sophie calls out to him, telling him to find her in the future. She is then thrust back through the door, where Howl is waiting for her. He is unresponsive, but he brings her to the remains of the castle. She pleads with the witch to give her Calcifer, and when she does, Sophie pushes him into Howl's chest. Calcifer flies out, once more. The remains of the castle break apart once Calcifer leaves, and they shot down a hill towards a cliff, but are saved by Turnip Head, who loses his pole in the process. Sophie kisses Turnip Head, who turns into the missing prince. He explains that a curse turned him into a scarecrow, and the Witch of the Waste says that a kiss from your true love breaks it, revealing the prince's affections for Sophie. At that moment, Howl awakes, complaining about a weight on his chest. Sophie then replies, "A heart's a heavy burden." The Witch of the Waste tells the prince, "Looks like your true love is in love with someone else. You should go home anyway and tell your king to stop this dumb war." The prince agrees, then leaves to end the war, promising to return. After the prince leaves, Calcifer returns, deciding to stay with the curse-free Sophie and Howl. The movie ends with the castle flying through the sky. Markle and Heen are seen playing in a small garden with the witch and Calcifer watching over them. Sophie is last seen with Howl on a balcony. Howl appears behind Sophie and says that he's been looking for her everywhere. However, Howl saying he was looking for her everywhere is because Sophie came to him in the past when he used to be a falling star, whom Howl was able to catch before he fell to earth and extinguished. He promises to use his magic to break the curse on Sophie, providing she breaks the contract between him and Howl. The moral of Howl's Moving Castle. Being old gives you physical ailments, it makes you notice how hard it is to move. But it also gives you an astuteness that you don't have when you're young, and the wisdom of who always knows what's right. In any case,